welcome to another episode of Questlog, the weekly show about video games old and new. My name is Tyler Everett, and this is episode 53. Joining me... Okay, joining me as always
Luke's the weird one.
Is Brian Maxwell with a hoodie on. How's it going, Brian?
Hey, it's going great. I'm ready to do the best video games podcast in the Eastern Michigan Thumb area.
Yeah, you're goddamn right you are. And it's episode 53. Is that... Give me... Prime number. Hype.
Those are always the good ones.
Luke,
What's wrong with you,
Did
Luke?
you miss a memo or something?
Yeah,
Luke?
well, apparently I missed the memo to wear some sort of something on my head.
Luke Phillips, missing memos. Looking awkward. Not as awkward as Aaron Kring, though. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Tyler?
Yes.
This is big. This is big.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you.
Holy shit.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Skyrim. Happy birthday to you. Okay, now make a wish.
Oh, man. For those listening and not watching...
You know what he wished for? You know what he wished for?
What?
A new Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, it's not... You're not wrong.
Sponsor us, Bethesda.
Yeah, for those listening and not watching that, Aaron Kring produced a cake with a lit candle with the number 6 on it and held a copy of Skyrim up to celebrate the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim's 6th anniversary.
Yay!
And he's eating
Birthday, Tyler.
He seems to be eating the candle now, like some kind of psycho person.
I licked the frosting off the candle so I could set it on my desk. Now I'm going to eat the cake. I'm going to have my cake and eat it too, like Marie Antoinette. Except I'm going to keep my head.
Okay, you do you, baby.
A lot of information.
You're welcome.
Just came falling right out of him. Yeah, just like a info pinata.
You're welcome.
That was amazing. That was a legitimate surprise. I wasn't expecting that. Thank you for that.
Is 6 the birthday or is 6 the number of platforms that you can play Skyrim on?
Well,
yes.
let's see. You got your Xbox 360, you got your PS3, you got your Xbox One, and you got your PS4. You got your PC. You got Switch.
Yep.
Does Skyrim VR count as a separate thing through
Technically you have Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Xbox One X.
No.
Shut it down.
Now we're getting crazy. This is all getting too silly.
PS4 Pro, Slim PS3.
Right, yeah.
200 hard drive. Hard drive PS3.
Yeah.
I could go over to Best Buy and buy a new PC. Does that count too?
Yeah.
Do we count
Acer,
PC?
Asus, HP, Dell, Simon. This is free advertising for everyone, by the way.
I was really just making fun of Microsoft and their stupid Xbox naming conventions.
Were you? Because I'm starting to feel like you're in Microsoft's back pocket. I feel like you are.
What?
Yeah, I'm starting to. Is Phil Spencer there?
Are you saying that I have a secret Xbox One X that I didn't tell you about, Tyler?
I wouldn't be surprised one little bit if you
somehow
caved and got one.
Did you say X or S?
Yes.
Why did they do
Xbox
that?
One,
Why
yes.
did they? Who let that happen? Oh.
I don't know.
You know what? Before anyone gets a chance to look at the news or anything like that, we should just talk about the video games that we've been playing, like right nowish. Oh man, so many of the video games, you guys. I recently acquired a little game called Super Mario Odyssey.
Never
Beat
heard
it.
of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was let me get a little gameplay up here of it, huh?
I thought you'd call it out, like Mario does when you turn the game on. So I'm a little bit disappointed.
Mario Odyssey.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Mario is good, you guys. I don't know if anyone has mentioned that yet on the podcast, but Mario games are kind of sweet. I'm into it. And there you can see my little Mario. He's celebrating Cinco de Mayo with a sombrero and a little poncho there. It's pretty cool.
It's been
Super
a while
Mario
for you,
Odyssey
hasn't it?
also.
I have not
Also
played
known
a proper Mario game since Mario 64.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's right. You totally skipped the Wii and Wii U.
And the GameCube version. Well, I skipped those consoles, yes. I didn't play Mario on my GameCube.
I
really didn't
haven't
either.
played a Mario since SNES.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's not a competition, Luke.
Just saying, if it was, I would win.
Well, yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised at how like smooth
Good it
everything
is.
is, and how like detailed Mario's model is, and just the worlds and stuff. They're really really good. I did notice some like fuckery when it's in motion and you kind of look close. They're doing some weird tricks to get that game to stay at a decent frame rate. Like when you are jumping around by stuff with shadows, it turns into like a checkerboard kind of just blackness for the shadows. It doesn't look great. But
Well, you're looking at the bits you're not supposed to look at, Tyler.
yeah, I know. I'm not trying to criticize. It still looks wonderful, but
When the magician draws your attention to his left hand, that's where you're supposed to
yeah,
look.
you're not supposed to take a look at what he's doing with the right. I get it, but yeah, it's all in all, it's pretty darn good. I think I've always been more a Zelda guy than a Mario guy. So I think there's a ceiling, there's a cap on how hard this game can hit me, and I think it's maxing that out. Is the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
It's really fun and it's really enjoyable, but it doesn't have its hooks in me the way that I know it got Kring. Because
Mario
you
game's
because you
not going to resonate with me the same way it did 30 years ago.
yeah, Kring, you done finished Mario, and not just finished it, but like finished it, right?
The only thing left I have to do is grind out coins so I can buy the rest of the moons to get to 999. Because you can, apparently, and then when you do, I guess you get something.
Is it a golden
and-
piece of poop?
No, it's like an extra cutscene.
Oh, okay.
So, like, actually
That's neat.
something that, you want to see.
Hmm.
And I also don't have all of the dresses for my valleys.
Oh, right.
Now, if I had amiibos, I could just throw those. If I had those amiibos, I could just throw them in there and get them. Or I can grind out coins to buy them.
Oh, so even the amiibo stuff isn't totally exclusive. You can get those in the game without
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, you
that
can get like
is
the metal
cool.
Mario and
That's
the gold
good.
Mario, and then the wedding outfits and stuff.
They should give the Zelda team some advice on how to make that a possibility in that game, because that
Why,
is super
Tyler? We've already
frustrating.
you've already grinded out all your poops for a gold poop.
I didn't do that because that part wasn't fun at all. But yeah, I would like to be able to get those things without having to buy $20 plastic things that you can't actually buy because there's none of them in production. So yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you're gonna watch me get absolutely wrecked by these venom plant things because I didn't fully understand what was going on here. I didn't realize that my hat was gone. And
Where's my hat?
Yeah, it was just like they keep barfing this purple goo all over the ground, and it hurts you real bad. I didn't realize that. So yeah, Mario is challenging at some points, but for the most part, it's
I
just
saw
real-
credits this week.
yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Thoughts, Brian?
The ending was interesting. There's a couple of really cool worlds near the end. I'm not going to spoil, but there's a couple of those late stages were short, but super cool and impressive to me. And then I played a little bit after the credits, and it seemed like the challenge got ramped up in some places and
It did.
not interesting in other ways. And I kind of like, I don't know if I want, going around and collecting moons to be my whole motivation. I don't know.
See, the collecting moons was not what motivated me to keep playing. What motivated me to keep playing is that
It was that gold sale, right?
no. the real world is awful and garbage and shitty
Mhm.
right now, and the Mario world is happy and bright and colorful, and I wanted to live in blissful ignorance for as long as I possibly could.
Aaron, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is
Yeah.
I'm just finding myself like, man, like work was just bad today. I'm gonna play Mario for the next hour, and because things are just happy and cheerful in this game.
Yep, this game
It
is
not the real life.
Yep, this game is a nice escape from all things that are awful, and I want more of it. I wish I had more of it. I wish I hadn't consumed it all in one big giant chunk like that, but I did.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing with you. You did the same thing with Breath of the Wild, where
Well,
it was-
you did too.
Well, yeah, but that's because you and I have this weird thing where, like, we don't want to openly admit to being competitive about it, but then it ends up happening anyway. Like, you're like, I'm going to try to get all these shrines, and I was like, me too. And it was kind of like, I've got, 64 of them. Oh, I just got 72 of them, and we got into this whole, like, kind of a race. And
I've never completed the master trials though, the way you have.
oh yeah,
The trials of the sword. I didn't complete the third round.
so you're saying I won Zelda? Okay, deal. That's fine.
Well, you won the DLC, which isn't really a thing, Tyler. Congratulations. You won the DLC. You get the participation trophy.
And I have the True Master Sword. Anyway,
Yeah, that's your participation trophy.
anyway, yeah, I'm with you guys in that it just feels like a real fun. It's just a fun world to be in, to jump around and hop around in, and that's a good thing to have. I'm really glad that I have that just a few button presses away at any given time. I can take it with me, and I could be waiting at a bus stop or on my break at work and just hop around this world and stomp on little dudes and become a weird plant monster thing that can grow and do little flips, and a caterpillar that can grow and bend around corners, and just goofy little things like that. It's really
That
good.
one was fun.
I think the caterpillar is my favorite creature to possess.
Yeah, Caterpillar was real
It's
good.
so fun.
There were some really neat puzzles with that, and I really liked the weird little onion plant things. You grab one of those and you like sprout legs, and it would grow really tall, and then you'd do like a little somersaults. And there was some really neat platforming that you could do with that, and pushing up platforms and things like that. It was really neat. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not rushing to finish it. I'm sure I will. It's not a game that I feel like I'm just going to be like, I've had enough and not see the end. But I'm in no hurry. I played it a little bit with my daughter. I turned on the assist mode and just let her go crazy on that first planet. And she was really digging it and really starting to get the controls. She's never done well with the, dual analog stick 3D games like this. And she was actually starting to get the hang of the jumping, and moving and jumping at the same time is like a foreign concept to her. And she was finally starting to pick up on that and get across some stuff. She really liked being able to become a T-Rex. She thought that was real cool. She kept saying, "Dad, where's the T-Rex? Help me get to the T-Rex." So that was pretty fun. Yeah,
She's not wrong.
It's a real good game, and I'm glad that I have it. So thank you to the generous benefactor that helped me achieve that. Much appreciated. Anyway, what do we got next? Who's got something they want to talk about next? I'm gonna let you guys decide.
I've literally only played Mario this week, so
there
I'm
you go.
done.
How close are you to the end, Luke? Do you think you're getting
Well, I
close to...
finished story mode last week,
Oh, okay.
and
How
I'm
many
just
moons you got, Luke?
not nearly as many as you do.
Well, duh.
So you
How
win
many
Mario
do you have?
Odyssey.
How many do you have? This isn't a competition, Luke.
285.
Get good.
Not a competition.
Not a competition, but you sure are losing.
The kingdom that opened up at 250 was a challenge, but fun.
It's cool.
5 boss rushes.
There are. It's not just that. There's then you see a lot of the what are they? A lot of the little pipes, little stone pipes that you can get into, or not just those. There's those hat areas, those challenge areas where you have to and these are the only ones that I think I hated, because they reminded me of Super Mario Sunshine, where you spend the entire game with this cool ability, and then there's these special levels where we take it away from you.
Oh,
Was
like
it
the
like
one
those
where
time
you,
challenges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're not
Right.
timed challenges, but
where
they're
you
these
throw your
challenges.
hat on like a mannequin, and then you run around without your hat to
Yep,
do a
you throw
thing.
your hat
Yeah.
on the mannequin opens the door, and then you go in the door, but you well, kind of like what Tyler's doing right now in the game.
Yeah,
you,
but most of those are timed though.
well, they're not. They're just previous challenges that you did before,
Mhm.
and now you have to redo them without your hat, and it just didn't. I've never liked that. Like, here, we're going to give you this thing, and then we're going to take it away from you. I've never been a fan of that kind of gameplay. And
Seeing
those are the
Mario
ones I
without
found the
his hat
hardest.
is weird.
Yeah,
Or
it's
like
really
without a hat, like just Mario with his hair,
dumb hair.
dumb hair.
That was going to be something that I brought up about Mario games in general, is that I feel like Mario is a clown. Like, he just is. He's goofy, and I don't want to say like it's for kids, but this reminded me of like Wreck-It Ralph a lot. Like, it's almost so innocent
Jeez,
that it's
Tyler.
annoying. I don't know. There just never feels like there's any real danger or conflict in the games, and that's not what they're really about. But
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, I thought this was a good title for this would have been Super Mario Cultural Appropriation as well, because some of these costumes and areas you get into, I thought, really, they're gonna do that,
Sombrero and the poncho.
Right? Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
The sombrero and the poncho, and seemed like a real.
I haven't unlocked the blackface Mario yet, but I feel like it's right around the corner. Yeah, I see what you're saying though, for sure. There's some of them that are just like, oh wow, really? Like, there's one that's
It's a
like
little on the nose there, guys.
There's one that's like the modern hip cool Mario or something, and he's got like this straight bill baseball cap and like shorts and this goofy blazer, and none of it matches, and I don't know if he's trying to just be like a cool hipster or something, but I don't know. It's weird.
Douchebag Mario.
Mario, yeah, I see him. He's got like an ICP t-shirt on. I'm sorry.
Juggalo Mario.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like I don't know how to explain it. It's just Mario's neat, but
That kind of game's only going to hook you so much.
yeah, yep.
Yep, I get it.
So anyway, that's that.
It's okay to be wrong, Tyler.
And you've always been more Mario than Zelda. I've always been more Zelda than Mario. It's fine. It takes all kinds, you know. Someone's got to be wrong, and it just happens to be you.
I don't know. Mario was first, so.
Well, there you go. Not wrong about that. Hey, Brian.
Hey, man.
I don't know what Hand of Fate 2 is, but I want you to tell me.
Well, Tyler, Hand of Fate 2 is the follow-up to Hand of Fate.
No shit. Really?
Perfect. All right, moving on.
And that tells you everything you need to know.
Well, I see cards and a pretend tabletop, so...
Yeah, it's
Ryan
a
asking
choose-your-own
confirm?
adventure, story-heavy RPG type game where you've got a like mysterious dude who's like telling the story and dealing out cards. Like the cards form the world, and you move your pawn from card to card, and each card has usually like a challenge of some kind or a combat. It's got a real like RPG feel to it. All the production's really good. You know, like you're getting weapons and gear and upgrades and all that good stuff, all the good RPG stuff. The combat is the weak part, though.
What's the combat like?
It's like Fable. I can't stop thinking of Fable when I play it. It's just super generic. Just
So wait,
like you're mashing the button and dodging. You know, like you can just dive constantly to get out of the way of hits, and it's fine. And I can't really expect the combat to be great with as polished as the rest of the game is. I don't know, the combat's maybe 25% of the game.
Oh wow! So it goes from
So
being this like, that's all
it's
just like a menu, or not a menu, but like it's a separate UI thing, and then it turns into an actual 3D third person
yeah.
hack and slash kind of deal, huh?
Yep. So you've got different scenarios that play out, and like if you succeed on some of the cards, then you get a token which unlocks new cards to put in the deck, and those new cards give you different story challenges and different story beats, different gear. It's a really neat game. Like I wish the
That's
combat
cool.
was better, but and like you're not hearing the sounds, but like, all the production values are pretty high. I'm impressed with the game.
That's a cool idea. I like this idea
Yeah.
that it's like this. You've got like almost a dungeon
It's
master,
like Game Master,
yeah, game master dude, and it's this tabletop game, and then it morphs into this like where you actually play out the scenarios that you're being dealt. That's neat. Do you know? Does it have like a pretty 1-to-1 thing where like if you get a scenario that's band of brigands that have battle axe weapons, they show up in the game as band of brigands with battle axe weapons and that sort of thing?
Um,
Or is
some
it kind of placeholder
scenarios,
stuff?
like each scenario has its own set cards that are always in play.
Oh, okay.
And then for each scenario, it's like, okay, you can add 8 encounters and 5 equipment cards of your own. And, so like there's a mix of like all the built-in stuff and then all the things that you choose to add.
It's pretty cool.
So it's neat. I'm happy with it. I'm impressed with it. It's got some improvements over the first one. The combat is maybe a little better, but it's still not great. There are some dice challenges, and like some of the challenges are the like follow the queen type things, like where it'll show you 4 cards and then flip them over and move them all around, and you've got to follow and catch the one that you want. The one you want to choose.
That is neat.
Yep, I just picked it up yesterday, and I'm happy with it.
Is there a multiplayer component to it, or is it a solely single player thing?
No multiplayer that I know of. I don't think there is.
Okay. Seems like it would be a neat thing if they could work that in where you could, online get 4 other people or whatever to be at the table too and deciding those things together. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, and you're seeing the combat now, and I think you can see the Fable comparisons that.
Yeah, similar.
I think part of it's just the look too. It's just this like really generic fantasy.
Right. Yeah. You just have you have daggers, so you're doing the same attack over and over and over again, and then rolling and doing the same attack over and over and over again. Yeah.
And it's not super easy because like there are some attacks, like that you can't parry, or like if they show a little green symbol over their head, then you can parry, but you've got like maybe a second. Like you've got to be pretty quick to do the parries. So it's not easy, but it's not interesting either.
Gotcha. Is it good for like short sessions? You just kind of like play it for a little while and then.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Well, it looks neat. Is it in your Steam? Is it something like that?
It's in my Steam library, fam.
Might be something to check out. That's pretty cool. Good stuff. Man, I've been wanting to talk about this game. I keep forgetting. I think it's 2 weeks now since I beat a little game called Night in the Woods. Brian talked about it lovingly earlier this year. Luke, I think you would probably find this game really sad and depressing and not funny or entertaining. Kring, you would probably dig this.
Yeah, that's my thoughts as well.
I found
it depressing because there's no space.
No, that was more of a callback to the Edith Finch thing where it was like a game about feels and he thought it was really funny. Where this, I feel like, is more, it's got some humor, it's got a lot of that, and so, I was doing like an opposite thing.
Now, please note that what you are seeing on the screen is a little side game within the game. Like the actual game looks nothing like this at all. This is a game on May's computer. Yeah, she can play.
Well, way to misrepresent the game, Titus.
I was burying the lead. I wanted to show this though because I got way sucked into this little game within the game. It's this, like, at one point, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not gonna. But May has a laptop and it needs to get fixed. And when she does, the person who fixes it is like, "Hey, I downloaded this Pale Cat game. It's called Doom Tower, and you should play it, and we should talk about it." And so when you get it back home,
a night in the woods with swords, and so Tyler had to get sucked in.
It's this game. It's like it's basically Zelda, but you're playing this Pale Cat, and it's so good. It's like this Zelda-like game, but you get this tracer blink ability that you can like zip around with. And it's got this weird mechanic where like the story is the cat is like worn down warrior, and she gets tired. If you swing your sword too fast, you'll try to swing and she just won't be able to swing it, and she won't be able to walk very fast. So you have to kind of like learn the rhythm by just kind of playing the game and figure out when you can attack and stuff.
It's really, Hyper Light Drifter neat. If it started a kitty.
Yeah. And if it was better. But it gets super hard, and like I wound up getting totally sucked into this, and I played through the whole game twice. Like I beat it 2 times so I could see the little secret ending that they hid inside it. It's like a full-on game within another game, and it's pretty good. So anyway, I'm gonna zip forward so it's not
Tyler, I respect you.
There we go. This is what Night in the Woods really looks like. You're playing as May Borowski, who is a person, not a cat, but is a cat as well.
Explain.
Confused.
We talked about this back when Brian played this earlier in the year, but like they never address the fact that you're all like everyone in the game is animals. It's kind of like Robin Hood, Disney's Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Where like
good analogy.
It's Little John and Robin Hood. They just happen to be foxes and alligators and stuff, but like nobody really acknowledges that they are animals and not people. And then
so nobody acknowledges the fact that it's weird that everybody walks around without pants.
they have pants. There's pants. And they just, all the dialogue and stuff is all just as if they're regular people. They go to college. They have jobs.
Cat college?
No, just regular old college, man. And there's regular animals. Like you'll be walking down the street and there'll be a cat, walking down the street, and birds and beavers and dogs and whatnot. It's pretty great. It's a storied game. It's an adventure game with very, very light platforming bits. Right now, you're seeing one of the like dream sequences. May goes to bed every night, and a lot of nights she has these really vivid dreams that you play through. And I'm gonna turn on the music just a little bit here. But like one of the constants in these dreams is you're going to the different corners of this dream sequence and like waking up these different musicians, and each one is playing a specific instrument, and they all kind of add to the same song that's playing. And by the end of the sequence, it's playing this full song. You can hear all the different instrumentations. It's really neat. I don't know. I got really sucked into it, and I think I played through all of it over the course of 3 nights, maybe.
It's about like a 7 or 8 hour game, maybe, if you don't count spending hours playing Demon Tower.
Tyler has 7-8 hours into the story mode, 21 hours into Demon Tower.
I'll look that up. I'll look up how much time I have into it, because I think I played through as much as you could possibly do in one playthrough. And I didn't look at guides, and I didn't look at other stuff, and I got, I think, as many achievements as you could get.
It's
yeah.
It's all about the character development, really. Like May drops out of college and comes home suddenly back to her small, like, Rust Belt town that's, failing and dying because the mine went out of business, and businesses are moving away, and her parents have shitty jobs, and she comes back and people are like, "Oh, you dropped out, huh? Not surprised. Welcome back. When are you gonna get a job?" And May's just kind of a fuck up and trying to, like she gets back with her high school friends, and things are kind of rough.
Brian, I played Mario because the real world sucks, and I wanted a distraction from it. Why is this supposed to make me want to play this game?
because
I think you might like it,
entertainment,
Kring.
yeah. Once you can bleach your eyes out with Mario after this, but this one's got some hard hitting feels in it for sure.
You liked Firewatch. You liked Edith Finch.
Yeah, I did.
I think this
did
might be a Kring game. The writing is so good. Like, the dialogue is super well done. Like, playing this again made me angry at Life is Strange, because it's like, these are 20-something, kids, distraught kids, and I'm relating to the dialogue really well. And that was kind of the hang up with Life is Strange, is
But you don't say hella?
don't say hella. Kind of cringy dialogue in that one, and this is like, okay, dialogue for this age group and this setting can be done well.
Yep. And the little mini games and stuff are great too. Like, May plays bass in a band, and you go to band practice every few days or so, and you basically get a Guitar Hero type sequence where you're trying to play along by pressing buttons on the controller, and that's really fun. The joke is, like, she doesn't know any of their songs because she hasn't been around for the past few years, and so you're just trying to play along to a song you don't know and haven't heard, and fucking it up a lot probably, and at the end they kind of give you a, hey, you did great, or you didn't do so great, or well, what the hell was that? And she's always like, I don't know the song. I don't know any of these songs. But
And
it's fun
Tyler,
to
I'm
try.
sure you appreciated the first time you show up to band practice. The drummer has left the band, so B is doing the drum parts on the computer.
Yeah, she's literally got her
And May's
laptop.
like, you're not
and,
doing anything. You're hitting a button.
yeah.
You're not playing the drums. You're playing the computer.
She still calls herself the drummer, and she's literally hitting play on a drum track that she made in, GarageBand or something. It's pretty good. I definitely appreciated that. Yeah, man, it's a great little game. I've put 11 hours into it, so subtract 2 from that. 8 or 9 hours is what you'd put into it if you're not a crazy person that got sucked into Demon Tower. But I am that. So.
Yep, I'm playing through it a second time, because every day you get to decide which friend to spend time with, and I spent all my time with B on the first playthrough, and second time I'm spending all my time with Greg, and they're equally well written.
Yeah, this was something that Brian got for me, because he was just like, you just need to play this. Just play this, and
Do this for
I
me.
can usually, that's usually a good sign that, I can be pretty confident that it's going to land well for me. And it's one of my favorite things that I played this year, easily. It's a very good game. Very cool story.
All right, fine, I'll play it.
Just get right out of my Steam. Just pull it out of there. No problems. Let's see what else we got here. Brian played something. Wait, no. It's Kring's turn. I'm sorry.
Oh, is it?
It's Kring's turn.
Is it?
Kring,
This is Kring's time.
this is your time to shine, baby.
What do I do this time?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oh, that one.
The game you guys all shit on me for caring about at all, and Kring and Brian were ready to buy it before I was. So
So yesterday I had the day off for Veterans Day. Anyway,
Jesus Christ, Kring. Yes, continue.
So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do Mario here, and I'm gonna finish up Mario, play video games all day, right? And I underestimated how many moons I had left, and got done at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, oh, okay, what am I gonna do now? So went and grabbed this. It is shockingly not as fun as Mario, and it's a real slow go. Right off the start, and I was very confused. I didn't know where I was going, and maybe it's because I played this like right after playing Mario, where Mario is bright and colorful and everything's big on the screen, and it's easy to tell where you need to go and what you need to do. Whereas this game it's beautiful, but it's so finely detailed and stuff kind of blends in, and it's not something where it's easy right away to determine where you need to go.
And there's little tchotchkes all over the screen, little diamonds and a map and
You
arrows
hate that.
and a person walking in front of
But
you with a diamond.
they're all very small, and when you're like when you look at when you pull up the map and look at it, it's kind of hard to read the map. It's all very finely detailed, so stuff kind of gets difficult to discern individual things out of it. Plus, then there's this thing on the map, and this was weird to me, where I'm seeing like there's a little icon for things, and I scroll over them, and it's a picture, and it looks like it's a screenshot that another gamer who's been playing the game has taken of the game, and that was really kind of jarring to me that that's on my map. Like, I don't give a shit what XX Awesome Core XX has done and wants to take a selfie on the top of some mountain. I don't give a shit.
It's
Like,
things that pull you out of the game world.
yeah, it pulls me out, and I don't want to see that.
Hey, Kring, this is a video game, remember? Okay, keep going.
But so far it's a slow start. I finally gotten to the point where I found out my character's motivation, which, I mean, I guess it would be mild spoilers, if anything, but you're trying to avenge the death of your son. You're super hardcore pissed about that.
Don't have to play this game.
Can't imagine why.
Is it pissed like Fallout 4 pissed, where like your son is taken and then you just go and do some other stuff?
No, pissed like during the prologue. There's like 5 people that you deem responsible for it, and pissed like you've killed 2 of them in the prologue.
All right.
So he's actually getting shit accomplished.
I really dig the fact that all of his shit is visible on him. Like, he doesn't have a magic bag of holding. Like, yeah, you can see his
Like
bow
Link.
and his shield and all his bullshit. Just, I like that. That's real cool to me.
So not like Link in the Legend of Zelda games where you just
I'm
pull
actually
a
carrying
shot out of your
5
butt.
suits of armor.
Right? Yeah. Like, yeah. I've got I've got 1,000 swords, but you can't see them.
I'm just wearing them all.
I'm sure there's some of that too, but I just like that all of his equipped stuff is visible.
There is
That's neat.
everything equipped you can see,
No.
but there's all sorts of stuff hiding behind the scenes.
Ubisoft's UI is something that you generally hate, right, Tyler?
I wish that, like, honestly,
That's something that they seem to do a lot.
I don't necessarily mind the story part of getting sucked out of the Animus. The part I hate is that they need to flood the screen with things that remind you that this is a video game and you're inside a machine and you're in an investigation area and stay in this fucking glowing circle. I hate that shit. So
Yeah, I was just looking at this, and I was like, this UI is so busy.
it's
Just icons
beautiful
everywhere.
It is.
in the cutscenes. It looks gorgeous, and then you go back into the actual game, and it's like, how much UI bullshit can we fit on this screen without?
I wonder
Making
how
you
much of
quit.
that is customizable, if you can turn off certain elements.
I haven't dug into the menu, because here's the other thing that sucks about it. The menu in this game is horrible. You go into this menu, and then I was trying to select options and moving things around, and like I was using the D-pad because I'm thinking that, oh, I'm just going through this menu and I get to just select through the options and pick the one that I need and then go to the next thing. No, there's this freaking cursor on your screen, this like circle with a dot in the middle of it, and you have to take the thumbstick and move it around like it's a fucking mouse.
You're on the
And
Xbox with this?
and I'm on the Xbox with this. Yep, and I have to go and hover over the option that I want, and then select it like it's a button. And it's really clunky and really terrible, and the cursor moves super slow, and I do not like it at all. So the menu, being that it's kind of cumbersome to work through with that, is something that I have tried to spend as small an amount of time in as possible.
That's something that Shadow of War does really well. Is it lets you turn off like all of the combat alerts, all the UI stuff. You can almost disable the UI in their options menu pretty easily. And I appreciate that, because usually after I've got the hang of stuff and I know how to do counters and I know what to look for, I don't want the little blingy thing to show up above every guy's head, and I don't want combat tips to show up below me and all that stuff. So I don't think that's ever been a thing you can do in Assassin's Creed, though. So if it is, that would be a welcome change.
Yeah, I will investigate this for you. And
Whoa!
find out. I
So
will report back.
you're doing like I just saw numbers show up when when this guy shot someone.
Yeah,
So
you
you're
damage.
doing like damage numbers now.
Yeah, and what else you'll
Weird.
see is when you like say you take your bow and arrow out and you target somebody, you'll see I wonder if this is
Headshot.
going to show you. Yeah, so you see that there's like a portion of the bar that is white and a portion of the bar that is red, and it will.
Mm-hmm.
So the red is the chunk of health that you're going to be taking away from that person. So you'll get to see exactly how much damage you're going to do, and if the shot that you are taking is going to be fatal if you land it.
That's good to know when you're trying to snipe someone.
Yep. It's real helpful trying to get headshots on people.
Well, that's new to this game though, because the series prior has never had levels of enemies and stuff. It never had XP or anything like that. So that's interesting.
And you yourself have a level. So it's interesting now too because you can unlock abilities based on your level. You get ability points. So normally there's just a way to button combo to parry your enemies, right? Parry their attacks. Now you have that's an unlockable option. That's something you spend an ability point on, and then get to use later in the game. There's other things too, like you can have it be where there's one perk for if you assassinate an enemy, you automatically loot them as the assassination happens, so then you don't have to go through the step to loot them afterwards. There's all
That
sorts
seems
of
good.
different things, like the ability to carry multiple bows or multiple melee weapons. Those sorts of things are all unlockable as well.
A lot of these abilities sound straight out of Far Cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And many of them are things that like the parry thing kind of struck me as odd because that's always just been how you play Assassin's Creed since Assassin's Creed came out, and now it's something I have to unlock, and that kind of felt odd.
Sure.
But I mean, it gives you something to work toward and progress toward. I've always found that the Assassin's Creed games I start and play hard for a little while, and they feel stale after a little bit. I'm hoping that this will mitigate some of that. Being able to unlock these abilities will keep the game more fresh for me.
That's a very big departure for the combat. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. You were a bird just then. I thought you were going to shit on those people. You had like a targeting reticle.
So
You're like, target acquired.
You're not a bird. You have a bird.
Okay.
You
okay.
have a bird. And your bird...
You're a bird ally.
Yes.
You are friend to birds.
Your bird that you have, your trained bird,
Is it
will
a
help
falcon?
you locate... for intents and purposes, we're going to call it a falcon. I don't know what it is.
What's your bird's name?
Senu.
Is it Carl? What is it?
Senu.
That's
Remember,
fine.
Brian, you're in Egypt. Oh, also, speaking
you're in
of
Egypt.
appropriation with Mario earlier, this game has. I am not Egyptian, and I find the accents that they use in this game horribly offensive. They are really bad, comically bad, like Love Guru levels of comically bad. And I thought, for as big a studio as Ubisoft is, as international a studio as they are, and they even have the note in the beginning of the game about how this is made with a team with a multicultural background and people of various races, ethnicities, and sexual orientations. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of horribly offensive. I thought it was real strange.
It's a yeah. I listened to a little bit of the dialogue before I started the show here, and yeah, you're not wrong. It's rough.
It sounds like a mixture of them trying to do a legitimate Indian accent or Egyptian accent with people who don't know how to do it, but then it's also like an African accent. Like,
Well, that
we're talking like deep Africa, not like it's weird. It's real weird.
well, yeah. I don't think any of us are experts in any of that stuff, but yeah, I hear you. Man, I want to play this game. It looks cool. I'm not entirely sold on the new combat stuff, but I I kind of like that it isn't just about parrying everybody, because that got real stale in previous Assassin's Creed games. I would just get into a fight,
Yeah.
let a bunch of guys surround me, 20 dudes, and then wait for one to attack and parry kill him, and then parry kill the next one, and I'd just leave a pile of bodies.
Everyone line up.
Yeah, everyone line up, take your turns trying to hit me, and I'll just instant kill all of you and then move on. It didn't feel very assassin-y.
A little silly, yeah.
There are some other cool things that some of the side quests I think are so far getting pretty good. Like there's this guy who I've met this woman, and she's like, my husband went missing, and so then you go and you find this dude on this little island, and he is hammered, and you have to save him from these alligators. You take him back to his wife. He doesn't remember getting married, doesn't know that he's married, and you're telling him that, and he's like, but I'm a virgin. And
Bummer,
so it turns out like this chick got him super wasted, got him to marry her.
She didn't even consummate it. Man, that's...
and now he owes her a quote virgin tax. Like I don't know what that is, but he owes it to her. And then it turns out that her brothers show up, and they're gonna try to thug him out of like a bunch of money. And so you get to choose to either leave and just let that play out, or kick the snot out of the brothers. And so I chose
two brothers.
Just two brothers. So I killed them good. Those two guys. And then she's like, you killed my brothers.
You are happy so far with it?
It's
It ain't Mario.
It ain't Mario. But I like it better than a lot of the other Assassin's Creed games. But like Black Flag, I think it's that I'm more interested in this historical topic than in this time period than other time periods that they've had.
I still just wish that they had ditched the Animus future time travel stuff and just been like, here's a story in ancient Egypt, you're an assassin.
So there was a moment right after the prologue where it says that you have to go to you're gonna go meet somebody, and she's been studying researching things at the Library of Alexandria. I'm like, this for me is a huge deal, because that's always been a subject area that I've been fascinated with. And to get to, even though it's, a fictionalized version in a video game, it like makes me think, okay, well, I'm going to be able to get to see something, and that got me really excited. And then right after that, it's, oh, wakey, you're in the Animus, and it's time you go get this cyclosporine because your kidneys are shutting down because the Animus is rejecting you. And I was like, man, this just totally killed any flow I had in this game right now.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
So I hate it. I hate the Animus.
Remember, it's a video game?
Yup. Remember you're not this
But
guy?
it was the dumbest thing in the world too, because I'm not kidding. When you get pulled out of the Animus, there's this chick who may or may not be your girlfriend, and you're a chick in the Animus, so there might be something there. I don't know.
How progressive.
But then she tells you have to go get this drug. You go and you get this drug. You inject yourself with it. And it's just, you walk across the room, like you maybe 15, 20 feet away, and you get this thing and you inject yourself with it, and then you go right back into the Animus. And it's not anything that took gave you any real story, other than the fact that you find out that the chick that you are is trying to get into the Animus program, and she's doing like this black market Animus thing or something. I don't know yet, but I was really pissed that I was pulled out.
Yeah, the interruptions like that in the game are one of my pet peeves. I just like when if a menu pops up like just mid combat or something, or any cinematic pops up, stuff like that.
I remember when I played Black Flag, like you're a software developer working in this office, and like pulled me out of all the assassin-y stuff, and then I got really sad because it looked like a nice office and a really nice place to work, and I bet they pay well, and I just got really bummed. I just want to be a pirate. Don't make me feel bad about my job. Just let me be a pirate.
You know what? Speaking of interruptions, I just want to shout out to FookMe69 in the chat right now. Trying his damnedest, man. Google Translate's doing work, and it's not all coming through, but thanks for joining. Appreciate having you here, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
Google
You're welcome.
Translate does the best
It
can.
tries. It tries. We appreciate it.
Google Translate speaks Czech way better than I do. So.
Yeah. Yep, that's good stuff.
So,
That's good
so
stuff.
Brian, are you saying
sir.
that when you play your video games, you want to just be a pirate? You don't want the video game to remind you that it has fictional characters with better jobs than you?
Yes, exactly.
Look how great this office is,
Please.
man. I wish I wasn't here right now. Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah, it's doing it.
it's good stuff. What is he's a specific kind of warrior, Aaron? The main
Magi.
character. Magi, yes.
Magi.
So
So your name is Bayek.
Bayek.
You are a Magi, and a Magi is they were originally protectors of the pharaohs, but their role, it's explained that their role has evolved into being not just protector of the pharaoh, but
Oh,
so you're looking out for their best interests.
you kind of disappeared there, Skype boned you real hard, but yeah, we believe you.
Skype boned me so good.
Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad that you're digging it. I hope it you know, I hope you stick with it. I hope it ends up being one of your favorite games
It's all I have left at this moment, Tyler. So
ever in life in totality. Just that's all I
I
got.
need this.
You really are chasing a dragon here. Like you finish Mario and like minutes later we're like, I gotta go buy a video game right now.
it was a super weird
You had a thing
feeling
planned.
to be like sitting there going, I have the entire day off and I have nothing to do now, and I'm not going to sit around watching Lord of the Rings for the 77th time.
But why though? Like,
Seems like a viable option.
yeah.
So, Kring, you finished Mario at 8 a.m. What time did you wake up on your day off?
6:30.
Why?
That's sleeping in for him, bro. Like that's
Yeah. Normally I'm up at 4:30, dude. So 6:30 is late. I mean, that's almost a guilty feeling.
yeah, real piece of shit. 6:30. The sun was almost up. What were you doing?
Right.
Yeah, just stay in bed.
Hey, speaking of things I feel guilty about, I took a break from Mario so that I could play some more Stardew Valley. Oh, that's loud. Hang on, I'll fix this.
You should feel good about that.
I do actually. I don't regret a moment spent in Stardew Valley because it's real good.
If it wasn't the way that it is, I think I would love it.
I think you
So
might.
if it was
I think
something
you might-
different?
I think you might love it anyway. I've
No,
noticed
I
something
hate
too. I've
resource
noticed something
management.
too. It looks great on the Switch. Like when I played it in docked mode in front of my monitor up close, it doesn't look super great because it's this, pixel. I mean, it still looks good, but you notice a lot of the flaws a lot more when you're holding it in handheld mode on the Switch. It looks super super well detailed and crisp, and it's just about perfect.
Tyler, that is a pleasant little farm you've got.
Oh man, you should see it now. I'm about to come out of winter. Oh man, it's gonna be so great.
So spring is coming.
Yeah, spring is coming, and I've upgraded significantly. So get hype for next week when I'm back in the spring times. It's gonna be so good. But yeah, man.
How are things going with
have the
purple-haired girl?
We're not here to talk about purple hair, Brian. We're here to talk about purple swords. The Galaxy Sword. I has it. Okay, it's awesome.
You stood in the desert
There's a
betwixt the three pillars and held aloft.
yes, and summoned unto me the mighty Galaxy Sword from beyond. Yes, it's real cool. It's apparently the best sword in the game. I got really lucky to get the thing that required it, and I traveled to the desert far away in a bus driven by Pam, who is definitely an alcoholic. And yeah, I didn't even think about it at the time, but Pam really loves pale ale, and I just happen to have a few kegs on my farm now, and I make a mean pale ale, and I was loading her up with those things before I got in the bus with her. That was not a good choice. It was a danger.
Like, hey, let's have a drink and then you drive me around.
Let's really roll these dice. Yeah, I was like, I was making bad life decisions there. But anyway, I've got like I want to say 3, maybe 4 of the different rooms in the community center filled up now. I'm really going to town on this game, man. It's really got its hooks in me. So
This pleases me.
yes, I knew it would. I knew it would. There's one thing we haven't talked about enough this year. It's Stardew Valley, and I just can't wait for it to become available on mobile phones so that we can all purchase it again. That's all.
But you already have it on your
Please.
Switch.
Hmm?
You already have it on your Switch.
Right, but I could do 2 farms at once. I could have I could have one.
You can play multiplayer with yourself when they release the multiplayer update.
I mean, that
Boom.
won't be a thing, but yeah, you're right. I could just buy another Switch. I could have it there too. No, I wasn't expecting to be this into it. I bought it kind of just as like, I need something on my Switch, and Brian really loves this. There's got to be something here. I'll give it another go, and it's fully got me. It's very, very good. So that's all I got this week, I believe. Brian, though, he's got something else for you. It's called Super Lucky's Tale, and that looks like Miles tails per hour.
Miles per hour, yes.
Yes, that's what it looks like. Is it that? No, it's not.
No,
This is Lucky.
there's a striking similarity though. Microsoft announced this at E3, and I immediately thought, gosh, this is pretty and colorful, and I'll bet my kids would love it.
Yeah.
So it came out, and I got it, and it is not easy. It's a very challenging game.
Yeah, I've
There's
heard it.
no difficulty settings. It's just,
Oh.
Yep.
yes, it does not play the way it looks. It's a pretty tough platformer.
Huh.
So, my 2 youngest kind of can't really play it, and my oldest played it for a little bit, and she's like, this is fun, but it's too hard. So that's disappointing.
Did you play it and say, "Yeah, this is fun, but it's too hard"?
It's good. Like it's a good game. I've enjoyed what I played of it, but I didn't really get it for me to play.
So it's not
Like-
Bubsy. Got it.
They also released it in the shadow of Super Mario Odyssey,
Yeah.
which is probably not great because it's
Poor
very
timing.
much that kind of game.
Is it all this kind of 2.5D thing where it's like it's 3D but it's in a 2D plane?
A lot of it is like you've got a 3D like hub world, and inside that hub world you've got little like mini worlds that you go into. And there's a lot of things to collect. I never played any of these games, but it feels to me like maybe a Crash Bandicoot or Banjo-Kazooie, that kind of vibe. It's like it's colorful and there's lots of things to collect. And
Judging by the gameplay, I would say it's maybe like more like a Rayman kind of deal.
Okay.
Just
You know what
because
it's actually,
Banjo.
it's actually a lot like?
What?
It's a lot like the brand new Bubsy game that just came out, Tyler.
Yeah, but Brian said this is good though.
yeah, I've
Look
heard
at
that was
any
super bad.
look at any review for Bubsy right now, Kring. Go look at them and tell me
Yeah,
that game is worth spending any money on.
It gets slightly worse reviews than this.
Slightly by
Slightly.
like a lot. Anyway,
No, slightly by like a half a point.
What is this weird obsession you've got with this new Bubsy game?
yeah, what?
Let's
I
talk
don't.
about
I
this.
don't. It
You-
was. I had.
clearly
an
you
obsession-
do.
Why do you love Bubsy, Kring?
No, I had an obsession with the.
He's gone.
I watch a YouTube channel called The Completionist. The whole thing is he goes and he completes games, 100% some stuff. So
You
he
didn't
was
play
talking
Bubsy
about.
is the short answer here.
He played Bubsy.
He did, but you didn't.
I didn't. He played Bubsy, and in his time, he's developed some industry contacts and has found out some things about this game that basically at the time that game was super hyped. It was the guy who had who had founded Activision, was not happy with the direction of the company after they went public, and he left with a couple of other dudes and formed a company called Accolade, and then they were going to put out this Bubsy thing. And once it was announced, like the hype train left the station, and there was all sorts of marketing, all sorts of promotion about this. It was in like every video game magazine, and all of these video game magazines were giving it these rave reviews, probably because they were getting paid to. And it was just all over the place. There was like a TV pilot that was getting announced for it. So anyway, I know why I was excited about that game is because I saw it in magazines, because it was getting artificially hyped up, and it was a dumpster fire garbage game. Okay. And now it's just a big joke.
So you fell for fake news.
But
I was like 9, Luke.
So that doesn't explain why you're trying to defend the new Bubsy that came out and is also garbage.
No, that's just trolling.
Oh. Okay.
We sure took the long way around on this one, didn't we?
Yeah, at least now that's out in the open, and we can just, put that to bed. Man.
Rob in the chat knows you're crazy.
Yeah.
I am gonna find you, Rob. I will get you.
I am gonna write a review, and I'm gonna get it to you.
The Wikipedia page is going to have a very highly praising review of it.
Yeah, it definitely has the look and feel of something like a Banjo or something like that, Brian. But those games were definitely like the 3D Mario 64 style, platformer, collect a bunch of bullshit kind of thing. But yeah,
no difficulty options, feels real bad, and it's one save per profile.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So,
yeah,
if you want to play your own save, you gotta change profiles or overwrite the one save that's on my profile. It's 2017.
Yeah.
Can we not?
Can you just give us multiple save files, blocks?
I mean, I did the Xbox and Windows Play Anywhere thing for the first time, and that pretty much worked. Like, it's on the Xbox, but I played it on the PC. It was a little bit of a fuck around trying to sign into my Xbox profile on the PC, and then like my achievements were popping up on the TV instead of on my screen.
Interesting. But it was like you installed the game from the Windows Store.
Yeah.
On your PC, right? Yeah, okay.
Yep. I bought it on the Xbox and then went to the Windows Store, and it was like, you own this.
That's cool. So, Kring, you could do that with Assassin's Creed too, right?
Is that a Play Anywhere title?
Game Pro Magazine gave Bubsy
a
5 out of 5. A 5 out of 5. Game
100%.
Pro Magazine. EGM gave it an 8 out of 10. And
80%.
And Game Fan gave it an 87, and Bubsy was awarded Best New Character for 1993 by Game Fan magazine. Suck it, Rob.
Yeah.
1993 was a really bad year for games, apparently.
It was lit. It was lit, fam.
It was lit.
It was very lit.
Now, you asked me a different question, Brian, and I refused to answer because of Bubsy, but what's up?
No, it's okay. We don't care. We don't need your opinions anymore on this show. It's fine. Let's you know what? That's fine. We'll forget that Bubsy exists, and we'll move on to the news. Won't we? Okay, hey, get hyped because the Xbox One X launched, and it's the most powerful console in the universe.
Yay.
Kring, that thing is the best thing because it doesn't make any sound. You're trying so hard. Once again, for our audio listeners, he's got like a little noisemaker and it's making no noise. It's the saddest little thing. So yeah, hey, if you were waiting for a good time to jump on the Xbox train, there's never been a better time because the Xbox One X is out, and
just $500
and you can have the most powerful console ever made, and it does 4K. So if you got a 4K TV, it's gonna look real good.
I will say, I think the Xbox is probably a really good choice if you have only that way to play video games. If you don't already have like a PC for gaming and a PlayStation 4.
Right, like if you don't really want to play a lot of video games, but you want to have the games that you do play look really super good, and you also have an expensive 4K TV, and you really like
Right.
Gears of War and Halo.
I mean, like
Yes.
there are literally no exclusives that I want to play on the Xbox. Not
Because all of their exclusives also come to PC, like Cuphead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
It's funny, Tyler. They did the thing.
Kring keeps freezing.
Boy,
It's
yeah,
perfect.
sure.
Just
Yes, it is good.
And as a result of this,
the freezing.
they what?
You just keep freezing periodically, and it's funny to us.
Well, I was saying that Microsoft's doing the thing that we have been, asking for years of releasing their games on other platforms, and now we're shitting on their platform because it has no exclusives.
Rob brings up a good thing in the chat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
I did hear that they are looking at possibly buying up some studios now, Microsoft.
That's a really good idea.
Yep.
Oh, and actually getting games?
And
Okay.
I heard that they have also been saying that they are not opposed to the idea of releasing their first-party titles on other platforms. So there might be a day where you could play Halo on PC and PS4 and all that stuff. So it's not off the table.
Are they getting out of the hardware business then, or?
I don't think that is the point. I think they just realized that it would probably be better for them to release the software they do have everywhere and sell it to people who are going to buy a PlayStation instead. I don't know. That I think if they can build their ecosystem out to where those things become compatible and you could play with people on other consoles and stuff, they've been also open to that idea as well with I think, what was it? Rocket League was the first game that you could do that with that I recall, where it worked well. So yeah, that's seems to be moving in the right direction. Rob brought up a good thing too. He said HDR on PC is a mess right now. Xbox One X and PS Pro are better alternatives. So yeah, like if you are a graphics enthusiast and you've got, like I said, you've got a TV that can take advantage of HDR and 4K resolutions, like the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X are going to be the way to do that for right now. Definitely don't fault anyone that wants to see that stuff because I'm sure it looks amazing. It's just not something I've ever cared that much about.
The other thing too is that the Xbox One X and the One S also allow you to play.
Which one was it? The S or the X? What?
Yes. Both of those allow you to play 4K Blu-rays, which, much like back with the DVDs when they first, when the PS2 first came out, those are still like $150. So you can buy a 4K Blu-ray player if you're looking to do that for $150, or you can buy a 1S, as in Sam, for $250. So
Sierra.
shoot, Best Buy's going to have a Black Friday thing for like $189, I think it is. You can get an Xbox One S. So,
wow.
Like if you're looking for a 4K Blu-ray player, like that's a good alternative to a 4K Blu-ray player, is just getting a video game console. But the PlayStation doesn't play those. It doesn't have 4K Blu-ray playback.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go.
Consumer advice.
We do a lot of pooping on Xbox, but you are right.
What about the Switch?
What about it?
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it does 720p at 30 frames per second really well sometimes.
Hey, but the Switch has Hulu.
Hey, that was like a segue, Kring.
Segue hype.
I'm so much better than Tyler at this.
Set and Spike.
Yep. I was gonna say before we got off of that it is great that that you can play stuff on PC and your Xbox and buy it in one spot and do both. Like that is something I've been saying Microsoft needs to do for a very long time. So I'm happy that it exists.
It's like the one redeeming quality.
Yeah. And HDR. Anyway, like Kring said, Hulu is on the Nintendo Switch, and it
Yeah,
apparently works pretty well. Brian, you tried this out. You subscribe to Hulu for some reason.
I do.
Yeah, look at that. What do you watch on the Hulu?
Golden Girls.
Golden Girls.
Oh
of
shit!
course.
Never mind. I'm sorry. I take it all back.
Subscribing right now.
Yeah, like initially there was Community and there was Rick and Morty, and that was enough for me to give it a go. And we don't have cable service; we just have Netflix and Hulu and Amazon. So it's like $20 a month for Netflix and Hulu, and I'm happy with it.
It's a nice alternative. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, this is paving the way for Netflix and HBO Go and
Seems like it.
all the different streaming apps to just get right up on there. I know they said initially that they were trying to focus on games and that they didn't want to dilute that experience.
Yeah,
Which
users want that experience.
It's true. And
I don't, but
I don't know, man. Being able to, well, if we had Wi-Fi, being able to stream, some Netflix, catch up on Stranger Things or something in the break room at work on my Switch would be a welcome addition to the console's repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
What it really needs is just the ability to download content from Netflix, which Netflix offers on other platforms. So
What it really needs is the ability to play old Nintendo games.
okay, well,
There it
And
is.
like a
We
and
need
like
it.
a
there, yes.
What's the
and like
timestamp?
a console, like it could be a console within a console, like a virtual console that they're creating there.
I think we made it. We made it an hour and
Yeah.
12 minutes before bringing up Virtual Console on the Switch. So I think that's a new record.
That's not true. Last week we didn't bring it up at all.
I don't have the data in front of me to corroborate this story, but I believe you because you have a familiar face. There you go.
I just think it's cool that these apps are slowly coming out.
Yeah. It means they're trying. They're listening. They know that we want it, and they're giving it to us.
With the success that the Switch has had over the last 6-7 months or whatever, I think we're likely to get more and more of these coming out.
It reminds me though that the Switch dock is dumb. It's a pass through. Well, dumb in that
It literally
there's
is dumb.
No,
Yes,
I
yeah,
got you.
I follow
dumb
you.
in that it's just a pass through. There's no tech built into it that allows it to do anything. And I feel like that's a real missed opportunity there, that they could have put a little menu and thing in there that allows it to be a streaming device. And then that way you could be playing games on your Switch. And if somebody goes, oh, I want to watch Netflix now, sweet, let me pull this out of the dock and I'll go on playing games. And then the dock itself will do the streaming apps and whatever, and you can have both.
So let me lob this out there. Do you think that we'll start to see that kind of stuff where they do iterate on the Switch and we'll see a, Switch Pro or a Switch 2.0
meaning like they'll bring
or
out like
Switch
upgraded
Mini?
boxes and stuff, docks and stuff, because
Nintendo has done this constantly with almost
Yeah.
every one of their handheld platforms. They've done revisions to it a few years down the road where you get the new Nintendo 3DS XL. And I could totally see, a $400 Switch that has something like what you're talking about, where it's got a more powerful dock and maybe an upgraded screen or something.
If it's that, and I can just go and get the dock, and the dock's maybe $100 or whatever to get that upgraded dock, I'd be down.
Yeah, I'd
Seems
rather.
like that might be tough to pull off because, like, if you got one controller, controlling the Switch and the dock, I've just
Pro
I'm not sure
controller
how the
wired to the
logistics really
dock.
work.
Well, didn't they say you can have up to like 6 controllers synced to the thing at once? Something like that?
Something.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was a weird number.
It was something like that. It was like 6 or 8 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was like
I think it was
6.5 or something, 6 3/4.
It was
I thought it was
two
like-
Pro controllers and a half a
Almost
Joy-Con,
7.
and yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I could just see them releasing revisions on the Switch or other options, add-ons and things like that. And
Yeah, they love add-ons. Just there's
Mhm.
so much basic shit that they're still getting wrong in 2017 that just blows my mind.
yeah,
Things that were solved years ago.
yeah, it's a thing that hasn't really affected their handheld business
I
though. You know
mean,
what I mean? Like they've been able to do exactly that and release just small revisions on their handhelds, and every single time they all sell like hotcakes. So I mean, the Switch is technically a handheld. It kind of bridges this gap.
mhm.
I'm just curious to see if they treat
We'll
it
see.
in that
Because
manner.
I feel like what Nintendo does that
Sega
that
don't.
that Microsoft and Sony don't is they will not release hardware that they will not turn a profit on.
That's true.
Like their hardware has to turn a profit, so they release something, and it might be it's something that always feels like it's not quite as good as it could have been, but it's as good as it can be where they'll still turn a profit at the price point that they're selling it. So then a couple of years down the road, they release a revised version of it that's a little bit better, and it feels like, no, this is the version that we should have gotten when it first came out, and this is the one that we always wanted, and so people go out and they buy it because they want the version that's good and not the, for lack of a better word, one that feels like it's been a little bit handicapped.
They want the new hotness, not the old and busted.
Yeah.
I was actually watching a YouTube video earlier that was kind of going over that exact thing. It was discussing why a lot of their hardware is not as powerful as a PlayStation or an Xbox, and they pretty much mentioned just that, is they will have older technology in their console, and it's much, much cheaper.
Yep.
And it's been out for a while, and so the developers and their teams and everything, they already know the system and have a much easier time making games for it.
Yeah, they do a good job getting the most out of it. You know, you look at Zelda, look at Mario. Those are some nice looking games.
Look at the port of Doom. I mean, yeah, it's at 30 frames, and they had to tone down the textures a little bit, but it still is a very solid port.
Yeah, from what I've heard, people are saying it still looks great. So
Mhm.
running Unreal 4, like the thing is capable.
Like, that's impressive. And this isn't something that it took them years and years to do. This was relatively a quick turnaround on this port for a brand
Yeah.
new console.
Agreed. I'm excited to see what the future holds for it. I'm a little bit less, concerned because I thought for a minute there, when they came out and said like we're really trying to focus on games, I was worried that meant like you're not getting apps on this thing. Like we don't want this to be a tablet at all, and we're just not gonna fuck with Netflix and Hulu and any of that kind of stuff. So seeing that it's on there now is kind of a sigh of relief. It makes me go like, okay, like they're working on it. It's coming. They know
I am
it's
really curious what next year's going to hold because it seems like this year they really came out of the gate swinging. You know, Zelda and
Holy
Mario
crap.
and Splatoon 2 was really good by all
Hmm
reports. I
Next
don't know
year
what they're going to do next
they've already
year.
got another slate of solid titles with, I think, Yoshi's coming out in February, and then
Kirby.
Early already?
Kirby's coming out. Yeah, I think Yoshi's scheduled for like early 2018. Either Yoshi or Kirby, one of the two.
Those
It's
both
scheduled
look
for
really
early
good.
in the year. The other one's scheduled for late in the year.
Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, well, that we really just got like it's announced thing.
Still though, that's
But,
I mean,
yeah, no, yeah.
that's an instant buy for me.
They've
Gonna
got more
play
indie
that
developers than they have had in the past, so
Yep.
that's good too. The Project Octopus Traveler gonna get all over that.
That is the worst name ever.
I hope it's a working title. What is it?
Pers-
Project Octopath Traveler.
Person, Octagon, Tinkerer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I really hope there's a Mario Party that's going to come out for it.
Do you?
Ugh.
I do.
Why
Did you play Mario
do you
Party?
hate goodness?
It's just seems like a... Yes,
It's
I
perfect.
have.
It's perfect for it.
It is. This console is perfect for a Mario Party, though.
It really is. I mean, you can take it anywhere. You've got The Joy-Cons pop right off. They have motion stuff like
It's got the rumble thing, the HD rumble.
The HD rumble.
I can feel how
Which,
many
by
ice
the way,
cubes.
is really cool. Like, I like it when the controller rumbles. Like, it doesn't
is.
feel like the other controllers, like where the rumble, like you sit on the desk and it sounds like there's a earthquake in your house when it rumbles. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah. When I'm playing Assassin's Creed with my, I have the Elite controller for my Xbox One, and when I'm playing Assassin's Creed, that thing, it feels like it's going to shake my hands off, and it's super loud, and it just it's jarring.
You feel
Was
like
this because of the boy? Is that why you did this?
What?
The Elite controller, is that why you did this? Is this because of the boy? Did you buy this for yourself? Because you're off the podcast if you bought that for yourself.
I did not buy it for myself.
Okay,
I
you missed
bought
it.
it for the boy. Yeah, that's
That's like $100 controller, isn't it?
it was like 150.
Yeah.
It was a you did a great job and got all A's on your report card, so here is a thing to reward you with, and it happened to be that. And
That's an acceptable answer.
yeah,
Yep.
Good cover.
There you go. But no, I'm with you. Like driving around the little moped in New Donk City on Mario, like
It's
when you
ridiculous.
accelerate, it
Yeah.
feels like you're kind of driving one of those things. When you jump and stuff, you feel like
Yeah, and when you're
they're able to
on
do
the
those
airship
subtle
and the
movements.
fans are going, yeah.
Yup, you can feel like it's good. It's done well.
Yeah, that Pro Controller is probably the best controller.
It's up there.
Agreed.
well, that's because you don't have an Elite controller for your Xbox One.
It's got those paddles, man. You can shoot so fast.
It's worth 2 Pro Controllers.
There's 7 chicken controllers you got there. That's a Harmontown reference. Everyone should listen to Harmontown. There's just a free shout out for Dan Harmon's podcast. It's really good. You should check it out. There you
Can't
go.
complain.
It's on Feral
But it's
Audio.
not free. Sponsor us, Harmontown.
Yeah. Get at us. You're gonna get 12s of new listeners.
There are dozens of us. Dozens.
Oh man. Well, I think that's all we got this week, guys. Yeah, that's a show. Thank you for tuning in, especially to everyone in the chat room. You guys are lighting it up in there tonight. Lead Lunchbox, Zembosis, FookMe69. We got a Rampy in there. You guys are
Yeah.
all great. I don't know what a yiff is, but that'll probably be funny to people who know things that aren't old, white bearded guys that aren't hip. So there you go. Thank you so much. Check out the show at questlogcast.com. You can send us an email. You might get a game out of it. We got keys laying around. Chat's cracking me up right now. I'm sorry. We got keys laying around for video games. Just send us an email. Tell us what your favorite game of 2017 was. And you might win a game for doing that. So check it out. Mail at questlogcast.com. Yes, Aaron Kring, what can I do for you?
A GIF is a sex thing for furries.
Oh, shit. I will be your horse. I'll be your horse, Rampy. I'll do it. Tune in next week, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do this shit again. And it's episode 54 where it all comes together. So don't miss it. I guess for me, for Luke, for Aaron, and Brian, thank you. And we will catch you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Fucking GIF? What is a GIF? Oh, shit.
Would you like to know what it stands for?
No, don't do that.
Oh, we got trolls now. We made it.